Hi, Galaxies! Today, Miss Miranda is going to read another story from our big book of animal stories. But first, wiggle jiggle song? Did you do it? Did you? Did you? Did you? Okay. Miss Miranda was going to read Be Careful, Barnaby. You guys remember this one? Okay. You guys might have to help me tell Barnaby that he needs to be careful. He's always getting into trouble. Mr. Barnaby. Barnaby was a very adventurous little fox cub. His mommy would always shout, "Be careful, Barnaby." But he just wouldn't listen. Mr. Barnaby. At the park, Barnaby would always choose the biggest slide, and he'd swing really high, and then he would jump off the swing mid-flight. Ooh, does that sound very safe? And he'd hang upside down from the climbing bars using just his tail. Not even his feet, his tail. He would yell faster when he was on the carousel, even though his friends wanted to stop. Uh-oh, all of his friends look really scared, you guys. That would be nice of Barnaby to slow down, huh? When Barnaby's favorite dinosaur toy was put on the top shelf, he decided to try and reach it all by himself. What could have Barnaby done? He could have just asked for help. Can you guess what happened? Uh-oh, it looks like he's climbing. What do you guys think happened? Oh, dear. What happened, you guys? He fell down. Barnaby also loved to dress up as a superhero and would pretend to fly by jumping off of his dresser. Whee, he would say. Uh-oh, what could happen there? He could fall off the bed and bonk his... There's a whole song about monkeys to warn you about this. One day, Barnaby's class went on a field trip. At lunchtime, they stopped for a picnic. Miss Badger told the class not to go near the river, but Barnaby wanted to have some fun. Uh-oh. What is a teacher's job? Our job is to keep you safe, and your job is to keep it safe. Is Barnaby keeping it safe by going over by the river? I don't think he is. He was balancing on the first stepping stone when, "Barnaby, come away from that river," the teacher yelled. Mrs. Badger's booming voice startled poor Barnaby, and he began to wobble. Whoa, whoa. With his paws circling wildly, he tried to keep his balance, but it was too late. Splash! Barnaby landed in the river. The choppy water swirled around Barnaby and carried him quickly down the river. The rest of the class ran along the riverbank. Miss Badger searched frantically for a way to help Barnaby. Oh no! Suddenly, Barnaby heard a roaring, crashing sound. It was getting louder and louder. He was being swept straight towards a waterfall. Oh my goodness. "Barnaby, grab a hold of this," Trevor said, holding out a long, leafy branch. Barnaby managed to grab a hold of it just in time. Mrs. Badger and the rest of class pulled the very wet little fox cub back into dry land. "Phew," said Mrs. Badger. At the end of the day, Miss Badger had to tell Barnaby's mother what had happened. Ooh, do you think Barnaby's mom's going to be happy? Or do you think she's going to be worried about him? "Oh, Barnaby," said Mommy, giving him a big hug. "Do you promise to be more careful?" "Yes, Mommy, I promise," said Barnaby. I bet that really scared Barnaby, too. And do we keep our promises, Galaxies? We absolutely keep our promises. The next day at the park, Barnaby was high up on the climbing bars, and he was about to jump off of them. Barnaby! When he remembered how worried his mom was, he remembered the promise that he had made his mom. Oh, good job, Barnaby, he remembered. So he carefully climbed down and went to find his friends instead. He had just as much fun with his friends. The end. Look, I think Barnaby got some blocks for listening to Mama. Good job, Barnaby. The end. You guys, do you remember in Barnaby that he tried to climb up his shelf, all the way up that shelf to get that dinosaur toy? He should not have climbed. What do you think Barnaby should have done if he needed to get that dinosaur off of the top shelf? Do you see this dragon above Miss Miranda? Miss Miranda would not be able to reach it. So Miss Miranda would ask for help. Can you guys draw Miss Miranda a picture of how you would get Barnaby's dinosaur all the way from the top shelf? Would you ask Mommy or Daddy? Would you ask for help from a friend? Would you go find a ladder? Draw Miss Miranda a picture and I want to see it from you guys. Bye, Galaxies!